Hi, welcome to your mobility practice. We're going to be focusing on a lot of seated postures, but all around the shoulders. So something that will help open you up so that you can start to get into some of these asana binds to really open up through the chest, the shoulders, build a little bit of warmth in these areas. So you don't necessarily need anything for this practice. I do not have any props today. But something like a strap could be handy. I'll explain how we can use that as we go through, but I'll be using the alternative variation so you can see how this can also be done with just the body, because sometimes we don't have all the props that we want. So when you're ready, just come into a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like to you, even if you want to sit against a wall or on a chair for a moment. We will start to work through the shoulders, so you want to make sure there's space behind you. So when we come into the movement, you want to move away from that wall as well. So when you're ready, just rest the hands on the legs, drop the shoulders, and crown of head reaches towards the sky. And then we just want to focus it in on the breath before we take any movements here, okay? Okay, just starting to notice that movement of air in and out the body. See if you can start to deepen that breath. Perhaps you can activate that diaphragm, send it all the way down into the belly as the stomach rises. Exhaling, releasing it through the nostrils, really soften, drop those shoulders away from the ears. Just allow the arms, the hands to rest on the legs in the lap. And as we draw that attention inwards, just become aware of the body. Become aware of perhaps where you might be holding your tightness. Now, like I said, we were going to be working specifically through the shoulders today, so perhaps this is somewhere that you hold quite a lot of tightness. So before we begin, just meeting yourself with a little bit of kindness, compassion, ahimsa on the mat today. Meeting yourself where you are and just noticing what the body needs. Knowing that each of our bodies are unique, that something might look slightly different on my body compared to someone else's. And it's important that we find that point that feels comfortable for us. Yes, we might hold quite a lot of tension through the shoulders, so being mindful of that and welcoming this depth, this more deeper range of movement through the body as we build our mobility, but again, being kind to ourselves. We don't want to force our body into positions that we're not ready for. As we allow the breath to slow down, to deepen, we bring this sense of relaxation through the body and helping to soothe perhaps a little bit of the tension, the initial tension we might be holding here. Okay. When you're ready though, take the hands to heart center in prayer, rub the palms together, building a little bit of warmth, heat between the hands, some friction here. And in your own time, place those hands over your closed eyes, beginning to massaging that warmth into the face. Slowly on your next exhale, just slowly opening up through the eyes, slowly removing the hands away from the face and rejoining the room. Okay, so we're going to stay seated. It is our seated practice. There'll be an element that we might come to standing, but majority of it will be sat down. So make sure you're comfortable. We want to be mindful, so we're just going to warm up through the neck and the shoulders to begin with. All of these mobility exercises will aid you in some of your asana, so we'll see how we find them. Some might not be for you, so just see what you can gain from each one. Okay, starting with taking the head over towards the right shoulder. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, take the head over towards the left shoulder. Now you might stick with these semicircles as you rock back and forth, or you might drop the head all the way back, creating full circles with the neck. And just noticing where you're holding that tightness. You might use the hand to massage it out. If you're anything like me, I hold all of my tension, neck, shoulders, top of my back. So even this movement can cause a little bit of tenderness, a little bit of pain, so I like to just be mindful of my neck. when we are moving through shoulder mobility, as we begin to create warmth there, tendency is we start to raise the shoulders. Be mindful of dropping the shoulders down, relaxing them here. If you're taking full circles with the neck, next time your chin is to the chest, change direction. Even with this movement, as you find that area of tension, the shoulders want to lift, drop them down. Okay, the next time your chin comes to your chest, pause, okay? We're going to interlace the hands, take them on the back of the head. Inhale, flare out wide through the elbows. Exhale, allow those elbows to cave in. Okay, from here, inhale, lift the chest, open the elbows out wide, open heart space, roll the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly from here, release the hands, stack the vertebrae one at a time. So just create some shoulder rolls here. Drawing the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, dropping them down. Roll those shoulder blades together. Creating some movement before we get into the more complicated movements here, okay? We don't want to just enter these cold, but having a little bit of warmth in these shoulders will help us gain a little bit more depth, okay? Okay, exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Now, we're going to start with our shoulder flossing. You're going to interlace the hands, you're going to flip the palms to the sky, and you're going to take the hands behind the head. Now, it's quite difficult sometimes to really stay open through the chest. So if you need to be a bit higher than the head, if you feel like you can't draw the shoulders all the way back, that's fine. But just be mindful, if you are taking the hands behind you, you're not allowing the head to come forward, okay? We're going to start to draw circles, okay? You can start with a slow movement here. Start to notice the warmth build. It builds very quickly in our shoulder flossing. Or perhaps if you're very open through the shoulders, you might find this quite pleasurable. Might feel quite simple for you, but if you're like me and you've got a lot of tension here, keep breathing. Send the breath to the shoulders. Notice, are you allowing that the chin to come down? On your exhale, change direction. Can you feel that burn, that heat rising through the shoulders, through the arms? Keep breathing. As you start to warm up, if you are creating these circles above the head, take them behind. See if you can draw it back. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those arms, shake off the shoulders. Hopefully they're feeling warm. Now we're going to go through these exercises one at a time. You might then come back round and repeat them, see, as we've started to warm up through the shoulders. So the first rotation, be mindful, we might be a little bit cold. But I'm going to go through each one at a time so we can start to build that warmth. So that was our first one, our shoulder flossing. Our second one is we're going to work through, this is a warm up for our half cow face. So you might have seen the bind in half cow face where we take one hand behind the head, one hand between the shoulder blades, and we take a bind with the 2-piece fingers. Now you might be thinking this is not accessible. Maybe we're really far away. Now obviously one option is using a strap here, but we want to create some movement to build that warmth through the shoulders to start to gain a little bit closer. So from here, I'm going to turn my back so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to place one hand on the back of my head, one hand where the top of my hand is down, so the palms facing forward on the midway point in my back. So really open up the shoulders, draw the elbows back, okay? Slowly from here, I'm going to take the arms out wide. You can see one hand, the palm is facing forward, forward towards the camera. The other hand is facing with the back of the hand, top of the hand towards the camera, okay? We're then going to flip them, so I can then take this hand to the top of my head and the opposite hand to my mid-back, okay? So from here, take them out wide, keeping the palms facing the same way that they were, then flip as you find that center point, Bend the elbows, one to the back of the head, one to the midway point in the back, okay? Moving with your own breath. Inhale, we draw it out wide. Exhale, bend. Inhale out wide. Exhale, bend. Keep moving here. As we continue to move this, we might be able to take the hands a little bit closer. So you might begin to walk this bottom hand towards in between the shoulders, and this top hand might be coming towards the neck here. Only if you feel like you can gain the movement here. Every time I do this movement, my shoulders click as I move back and forth. So if that's happening to you as well, don't worry. As long as it's not causing you any pain here. Okay, going for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful, okay. Slowly roll through the shoulders. Now we might just take a moment. Maybe we see how we can get into our half cow face. You can start with the left hand. Take it underneath towards your lower back, and then bend the elbow. See if you can walk it towards your inner shoulder blades. Now you can use the opposite hand just to walk it up, maybe draw that elbow in, and just see if you can find that position. Even if we're lower down, that's fine. Just find the maximum position you're at. Then take the opposite hand, the right hand to the sky, bend the elbow, and see where you can reach. You might be able to take the 2-piece fingers to grab hold of the bind here, really open heart space. Or perhaps we've got more of a gap here. You might want to grab a strap on either end, holding onto this position. Okay. From here, we'll try on the opposite side, release. Bend the right arm behind you. Again, you might use the left hand to just assist it in towards between the shoulder blades. The closer you can get this hand between the shoulder blades, the easier the bind will be, okay? To reach the actual fingertips, I should say. From here, left hand to the sky, bend the elbow. See if you can grab hold of the fingertips, or perhaps you're using a strap. Anything like a tie, a scarf would work as well, holding on to each end, and we start to shorten the distance as we open up through the shoulders. 3 more breaths here. On your exhale, release. Shake off the shoulders, shake off the arms. And from here, we're going to do our last one here, okay? So again, this might be where you use a strap, so you hold on to each end of the strap. The closer your hands are together on that strap, the harder it's going to be. The wider they are, more range we have. Alternatively, we can just interlace the hands. Now, obviously, with the hands interlaced, the hands are as close as they can be, so it's a little bit harder on the shoulders. So if you really struggle with this position, grab a strap, a scarf, a dressing gown tie, even a broom as well would work. Anything that you can hold onto each end, and then you can really decide how close you take those arms, okay? From here, though, you're going to roll the shoulder blades together, and on your inhale, you're going to lift the arms. Exhale, draw those arms down, okay? We'll go for 10 in total. Inhale, you lift as high as you can. Exhale, draw down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze, lift as high as you can. Exhale. Now, as you see, I'm not folding forward as I do this. I'm sitting up straight. Okay, 5 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. 2 more, is it? Can't count. Inhale. exhale, inhale, and exhale. Release, shake off those arms. From here, this one, I want you to come to standing just to finish. And we're going to come back into that position, whether you're holding onto a strap or you're interlacing the hands. From here, take the feet to hip distance, roll the shoulder blades together, deep inhale. And on your exhale, you're going to fold forward, but at the same time, you're going to lift those hands as high as you can, okay? Now, we're not working the hamstrings here, so if the hamstrings are tight, you can soften the knees here. Now, just lift those hands to the sky, okay? Breathing here, holding it here for 5 breaths. On your next inhale, slowly micro bend those knees as you lift the torso, releasing the arms. Shake off those shoulders, okay. From here, come back to seated. Take a moment, maybe roll through the head again. Notice now, as we move through the neck, how does it feel? If we created a little bit more openness, remember, the shoulders are not, when we work these shoulders, we're not just working the shoulders, we're working up through the neck, through the trapeze muscle, between the shoulders. So we're really starting to open up in these areas. So just create a couple of circles. Okay. Now from here, coming back to center. Now there's just 3 short exercises you can do to help warm up your shoulders so we can gain a little bit more depth in some of our asanas, specifically our binds as well. So again, you might want to come back to the beginning of the video and repeat those again. I would recommend doing about 10 breaths, 1 circle of your shoulder floss, 10 breaths the other way. Now, that might feel like quite a long time, but keep breathing, breathe slowly, feel that warmth build in the shoulders. And again, when we come into our movement for our half cow face, then I would do 10, and then try and take the bind on one side, another 10, try and take the bind on the opposite side. So again, just warming up those shoulders, and again, lifting those arms up and down for a count of 10, and then see if you can come over into a fold. Just noticing the difference. It might even be worth trying these positions cold before you start the mobility, and then trying the position afterwards, just to start to notice the difference. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope they were helpful. These exercises are really good if you spend a lot of time working at a desk, hunching over, creating that tension, that stress through our shoulders. It helps to improve our posture as we draw those shoulders back. So even if these asana aren't something that you're working towards, they have the benefits of reducing that stress, releasing the tension that we so often hold in this area. So thank you so much again for joining, and I hope to see you again soon.